Okay, thanks for joining me. Video number 5. We're still trying to get through this HR 25. HR 25. Okay, and we just got done. We're talking about collections, appeals, and taxpayer rights. The taxpayers are who? The businesses that sell brand new shit. Only new stuff, not used stuff like used saxophones or you can't tax stuff twice. That's the whole purpose of this bill. One of the reasons why. And then so you'll have installment agreements and stuff and taxpayers' rights, but the taxpayer is the state, the local county, all these proxies that are collecting for the federal government and then taking their cut and sending the balance to federal government. Geez, we don't have to file taxes anymore. They have to file, the small businesses do. But it's going to be a lot easier probably. You just have to keep track of your receipts like all small businesses do if they're registered with the city. Otherwise the cops come and shut you down. Levy, seize property, garnish wages. So they can garnish your wages or salary of your business, not of the individual anymore. Because we're not taxpayers anymore. We're consumers. Tools of a trade or business. Hey, look at this. The garnish exemptions. They can't take the tools of the trade or professional. In other words, they can't take your saxophones. If you're a musician, they can't take your tools or your truck. If you're a carpenter, if you've got a business like that. I don't recommend you registering your business if you don't have to. Keep it under the table because otherwise you're going to be involved in filing taxes again. Let's see. Service pleasure of the state. What the fuck? So the state government or the president of the United States Problem Resolution Office. In other words, the state governor or the president can just say, hey, he doesn't know anything. Get it off his back. But they got to have a problem resolution office. It's going to be with the authority of problem resolution is the taxpayer assistant order to administrate and enjoy any collection activity. Taxpayer assistant orders may be rescinded, blah, 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 general counsel. This is all for, help with legal stuff if you get in a bind. And if the president's doing it, he's just gonna get you out of a bind if he's your buddy. Taxpayers' rights. Where are rights of non-taxpayer? Oh yeah, the Constitution, okay? In plain English. Oh, fucking really? So, collection actions, civil penalties, a document setting forth in plain English the rights of the person. So, maybe we'll get it. In plain English means no legalese. That's going to be hard to do when you're dealing with legal stuff, which is specific language organized for a specific purpose of. So there's no ambiguity. There's no ambiguous double meaning. The record agent, whatever, right? It's 30 days notice. Oh, really? So they're not going to just send it to your HR and then start collecting your wages or something. But they would be taking your business, a cut of your business. If you don't want to send your 15% in to the state every month, I guess. I'm assuming it's not once a year. Shit, I'd be taking off to Mexico with it probably. 606, installment agreements and compromises. Okay, gaming activity. So we got, the same old stuff that's in the hobby activities, doesn't say if it's, I'm assuming hobby means what it means, but it doesn't define it. Chances not taxable property or service, taxes on gaming services, so they still want to tax your service, so the game service, which is going to be 15%. Government purchases taxable? No. Nope. Oh, look, it says right here, hey, they're going to have to tax themselves. I wonder what they do with the extra money. You know what I mean? Because that's income for them, taxing themselves on the purchases that they make. Purchases by state governments. In this case, state, I believe, means the 50 states of the Union, because United States means 50 states of the Union. However, can't get a clear definition. We already know United States. We don't know what state is, but we know what United States are. 50 states of the Union. That was defined. See the previous videos. And here we go. Here's the definition of trade or business. They actually defined it in page 91 of the bill. That's whatever, close to section 705. In the bill, trade or business is specifically defined in section 704, government enterprises. Paragraph echo. Okay, trade or business, a government enterprise shall be treated as a trade or business for, they tell you it's a government enterprise. Trade or business, a government enterprise shall be treated as a trade or business for purpose of this subtitle. It's all government shit. You didn't believe me? I still don't believe me. But the IRS sure don't believe you. They think you're a conspiracy theorist when you say, I'm not liable for anything. What am I doing signing under penalty of perjury? This is bullshit. I gotta renege all those 1099s, the W-2, all that, anything that makes income, anything that's on my wage and income transcript. What's it called? Yeah, account transcript. You can get those online now. Through the IRS, sorry, it actually works now, but you can't make one mistake or you get kicked out forever. Like terrorists, man. Specifically limited to, there's the, so in other words, explicitly charged fees for financial intermediation services. So in other words, explicitly, and so they say includes, because that means specifically limited to in legal talk. Okay, can you memorize that? It doesn't mean like, you know, it only means what it says it means, and it's only for these, specifically limited to these things. Trustees fees, safe deposit fees. So they can charge 15% of brokerage fees. It's a service, a new service. Loan origination on a new loan. Maybe they can't do it on a refinance, I don't know, as long as it has to be new. Bad debts, timing of financial I hope this is helping. You can read all this stuff. I'm just going over what I highlighted. Foreign financial intermediate served. Does foreign in this case mean just outside of the District of Columbia? I don't know. Trade or business again. It says minimum payment shall be exempt from tax imposed if made by a person not in connection with trade or business. So you don't get taxed. Intangible property. The sale of a copyright or trademark. Okay. So tax as a sale of taxable services. Okay, except that if it's right, it constitutes sale of the services that And it says up to 400 of gross payments per calendar year shall be exempt from the tax imposed if you're a government employee, or if you're, and that's 50 states of the definition as posed in the definition section of page 17. And that's the United States, how that's defined. So you're exempt right here for the first 400 if you're a government, not in connection with government. Did I say government employee? No, not a government employee, or not engaged in functions of a public office, which is trade or business. So I highlighted that for you. You can go read it. Some of this stuff I just don't understand, but I do understand trade or business is government. Inventory held by the government on close of business. Of course, they're going to apply it for everybody, because just like the IRS does, trade or business is you. So they're going to, don't listen to me, I think dangerously. I'm too much into the law and I know the truth of this legalese. Trade or business. And that's the last we'll hear of that. For federal income tax purposes for trade or business, including inventory costs that it had for the federal. Oh, okay, so inventory is treated the same way as it was in the IRC for trade or business, which is what you are, because you're a government. Everybody's government employees for some reason in public office, doing their functions of public office. Wages defined, remuneration for employment. Okay, fuckers, is that going to be taxed? Can you tax that? Wages to be reported to Social Security. No, they're not going to tax us. They're not going to withhold anything. Okay, right off the bat it said in the bill. So just in case you're wondering, if you weren't paying attention, no taxes. Let's see. Anyways, we went over that in the video, how it's gonna not, there's not gonna be no withholding. We've got a 2.9% tax on Medicare wage. That means including, I don't know what that is, wages, Medicare wages, hospital insurance rate. So there's still all these benefits that have to be here because they, non-resident aliens, who could that be? Foreign corporations. Sounds like stuff outside of the U.S., but they're saying the U.S. includes the 50 states of the Union, so that must mean what it means. But officers, employees of the United States, all persons in whatever capacity, including leasers and mortgage employers, or all officers or employees of the United States, having control and income to the extent such income constitutes gross income, will withhold from that income tax 23%. So if you're a non-resident alien or a foreign corporation, as leaseors, mortgagees, income tax. So this income tax only applies to people outside of the United States. This includes the 50 states of the Union. So I hope they're not thinking of just doing 20. They can't withhold on your paycheck, because we already determined that's not going to happen. All withholding off the paycheck stops with this bill. There's no federal withholding, there's no state withholding, nothing. Okay? No deficiency, Notification of dead people sufficient. They just send it to his last address. He's notified. Okay, whatever. And then all this, I read this. There's just, it goes over, these sections are IRS sections. Filing fee, blah, blah, blah. Okay. 1040 records destroyed after 2023. Okay? And except that any records necessary to calculate the Social Security benefits. And okay, so that's important. Administrative federal taxes, and that's it. That concludes this video and the sunset of the 16th Amendment. Got it? And so let's summarize. I want to make sure that there's no withholding on our paycheck. So we're going to summarize here. And bill, blah, blah, blah. Decided fair use. And here it is. Just in case you don't believe me, and I don't blame you. A repeal of the income tax, payroll taxes, and estate and gift taxes. So income taxes are repealed. You can get with a 9 exemption, you can get that down to 5% of your paycheck, but the Social Security, God, it kills you. It's like 8%. Payroll taxes repealed, or it's like, yeah, it's like 14% that Social Security. Estate and gift taxes, and then conforming amendments, effective date, whatever. So that's where my main point is, that you're not going to pay federal income tax or Social Security. And then they already mentioned in this video, we already mentioned how the Social Security is going to keep going on in Medicare and oh, that's just the finding where they go over. There's our definition of the 50 states. Not there, but there's somewhere in the definitions that we already went over. So it's a sales tax. See, it's a sales tax at 15% after the first year. Here's your definitions. Remember, we went over the definition of this trader business bullshit. That's defined on page 91 or whatever. Exemptions. Any employer which is engaged in trader business. So if that means us now, it's really confusing how they throw around this word, but if that means us now as it normally means, like it applies to us like government employees, then you're going to get an exemption. So in other words, the term taxable employer does not include any employer which is engaged in trade or business. But I think if you go by the law, that says that's government shit. So they're exempting government, but then some things that the government buys is going to be taxable. So that's kind of weird. And here they define the 50 states, the United States, to include the 50 states. And the only place in the IRC that there's a couple places where it defines specifically for a limited tiny little section, which is the patrolling clause, and another clause that Joe Bannister puts in his book. Can't remember what it is, but just for the first year, it's supposed to be 2021, but this was supposed to be enacted by 2019 and 21. It's coming up, so it could be this year. It would be nice if it was right now, and then we would pay 23%, get it over with, and then the general revenue rate is going to be 14.91. So for years after 21, the rate is combined federal tax rate, which is 14.91. Basically, they want their 15%. Okay, and this concludes the video, and I really hope you go push this to your friends and family. This is a worthy bill, even though there's some, you know. At first I was worried about the 23%, but then you got to read the bill. Okay? Thank you.